Hello and welcome to the Storyteller channel. In today's story time, I will be reading you a book by Julia Donaldson and Karen George called Wake Up to Lydia Lou. Wake Up to Lydia Lou. One night, a ghost glided into Lydia Lou's bedroom when she was fast asleep. The ghost said, "Woo! Wake up to Lydia Lou. Wake from your dream and scream." But Lydia Lou didn't wake up. The ghost tried again. This time he jumped out and said, "Boo! Woo! Wake up to Lydia Lou. Wake from your dream and scream." But Lydia Lou went on sleeping. "I need some help," said the ghost. So he fetched a kitten. Meow! Boo! Woo! Wake up to Lydia Lou. Wake from your dream and scream. But Lydia Lou just smiled in her sleep. "I need some more help," said the ghost. So he fetched a cow. Moo! Meow! Boo! Woo! Wake up to Lydia Lou. Wake from your dream and scream. Lydia Lou turned onto her back and began to snore. "I need some more help," said the ghost. So he fetched an owl. Toot, toot, moo, meow, moo, woo. Wake up to Lydia Lou. Wake from your dream and scream. But Lydia Lou just hugged her teddy a bit tighter. "I need some more help," said the ghost. So he fetched a baby. Boo-hoo, toot, toot, moo, meow, boo, woo. Wake up to Lydia Lou. Wake from your dream and scream. The teddy looked a tiny bit scared, but Lydia Lou just kept on sleeping. "I need some more help," said the ghost. So he fetched a cockerel. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Boo-hoo! Toot, toot, moo, meow, boo, woo. Wake up to Lydia Lou. Wake from your dream and scream. Lydia Lou kept on, and a feather floated out of her pillow. The feather tickled the ghost's nose, and the kitten's nose. It tickled the cow's nose, and the baby's nose too, and it tickled the beaks of the birds. All together they let out an enormous sneeze. And at last, Lydia Lou woke from her dream, and she laughed. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the story. For more exciting stories, please remember to like and subscribe at the Storyteller channel. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to the Storyteller channel. In today's story time, we will be learning about the solar system in a book called There's No Place Like Space. It's by Tish Raby and illustrated by Aristides Ruiz. There's no place like space. There's no place like space. I'm the cat in the hat and we're off to have fun. We'll visit the planets, the stars and the sun. There is no place like space, I will prove it to you. Your mother will not mind at all if I do. Jump in, here we go. We will fly up so high, we can dance on the moon and play games in the sky. We will swing past the stars, and in case you have missed them, you'll soon see the planets in our solar system. There are 9 of these planets that circle the sun, and soon you'll be able to name everyone. Mercury is close to the sun's burning light. It is hot in the daytime but freezing at night. On Venus the weather is always the same, hot, dry and windy with no chance of rain. Can you guess the next planet? Well, here is a clue. It is my home and home to thing 1 and thing 2. You have been living on it each day since your birth. It is third from the sun. It is our planet. Earth. It spins all the time, round and round like a top. It turns once every day and it never will stop. This question had thing 1 and thing 2 in a tizzy. If the Earth's always spinning, why don't we feel dizzy? We don't feel the way the Earth as it spins on its way, cause we're spinning right with it, right now, every day. Next here is Mars. It's the color of rust. We sneeze here because it is covered in dust. Travel to Jupiter and you will find it is bigger than all the other planets combined. Saturn has rings. It's so light, who would think it could float in an ocean and not even sink? A planet can have satellites that surround it. Uranus has lots of these objects around it. There are colors in space. I will show some to you. Neptune, you see, is a beautiful blue. If you lived on Pluto, it would be nice. It would not be nice. Some astronomers think it is covered with ice. It is chilly and cold every night and all day, for the sun's just a speck in the sky far away. An astronomer studies what's up in the sky. Thing 2 wants to be one. In fact, so do I. We have seen all 9 planets. Now here is a trick to remember their names and remember them quick. Say, Mallory, Valerie, Emily, Mitza just served us 999 pizzas. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. The first letter of each of these words is the same as the first letter in each of the planets you name. Now here is the game you can play in the skies. Connect all the stars you can see with your eyes. It's star dot to dot. Use your imaginations and you'll see big pictures we call constellations. There is a dog, the great bear, and the Leo lion, Taurus the bull, and a hunter, Orion. A star in the sky may look small, like a dot, but it's really a big glowing ball, and it's hot. And there's one star by far that's our favorite one. We can't live without it. It's the star called the sun. From the Earth it looks big. There is no reason why. It's the closest to Earth of the stars in the sky. But be careful and never look right at the sun. Your eyes would get hurt, and that would not be fun. How big is the sun? We just heard right this minute 1 million of our Earths could all fit right in it. Oh, look at that. Look at the time. We must go very soon, but first we must take a quick look at the moon. The moon does not shine in the sky in the night, but like a big mirror reflects the sun's light. The universe is a mysterious place. We are only just learning what happens in space. So I brought you a present. To look in the sky, just put this telescope up to your eye. Oh dear, I must go fly back up to the stars and take thing 1 and thing 2 out to dinner on Mars. But there's lots to discover, and it might be you who looks up in the sky and finds something that's new. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the story. For more exciting stories, please remember to like and subscribe at the Storyteller channel. Bye for now.
Hello and welcome to the Storyteller channel. In today's story time, we'll be reading a book called The Little Raindrop by Joanna Gray. One dark and stormy day, a little raindrop fell out of a cloud and flew faster and faster through the sky. A gust of wind blew little raindrops sideways, and in a dazzling flash of red, orange, and yellow, he found himself inside a rainbow. Enjoying the beautiful colors, little raindrop fell through green, blue, indigo, and violet before another gust of wind blew him out of the rainbow. Splash! Little raindrop landed in a shallow puddle on top of a large rock. Splish, splash, splosh! Lots of other raindrops fell all around him until the puddle was overflowing. Little raindrop ran down the side of the rock and joined a stream. In the stream, little raindrop drifted through woods and bounced over pebbles. He played with small, shimmering fish and watched them dart around as deer and rabbits came to drink at the water's edge. Sometimes, laughing children would raise sticks in the water, and little raindrop would chase them under bridges, dodging the swirling grass and fluttering leaves. After a while, the stream joined a river, and little raindrop floated along in the strong current. At times, the river was calm and peaceful, and little raindrop watched diving kingfishers and larger fish as they swam slowly by. At other times, the river was noisy and rough. Little raindrop raced along rapids and dived down waterfalls, carefully avoiding the jagged rocks at the bottom of the falls. Eventually, the river reached the sea, and little raindrop was pulled far away from the shore. He met friendly dolphins who played and danced in the sunlight and listened as they whistled and clicked their greetings to each other. One day, the tide pulled little raindrop back to the beach. He surfed the waves and crashed onto the shore until finally he came to rest on the soft sand. Look at him on the soft sand, Lumpy. The sun shone down on the sand, and little raindrop got hotter and hotter until the warmth of the sun drew him up into the air. It was cooler in the sky, and little raindrop joined a cloud that was already full of other raindrops. Little Raindrop was ready to fall to earth and begin his journey once more. And that is how little raindrops come trickling down the earth when it rains. I hope you've enjoyed the story. For more exciting stories, please remember to like and subscribe at the Storyteller channel. Bye for now.
Hello and welcome to the Storyteller channel. In today's story time, I will be reading you a book called The Owl Who Was Afraid of the Dark. The Owl Who Was Afraid of the Dark. Owl lives in a hollow in a tree. Owl's tree casts shadows in the bright light of the moon. Owl gazes out from her hollow with big round golden eyes. She sees the shiny moon. She sees the bats fly by. She sees the little foxes near their den. But sometimes the moon is not there, and then it is very dark. Owl has a secret. She is afraid of the dark. Barney the barn owl brings Owl an invitation. Dear Owl, let's go flying through the dark forest tonight at midnight. Yours, Barney. Poor Owl, she would love to go with Barney, but the night is so dark. What might be waiting out there? It is too dark tonight, says Owl. Sadly, Barney flies away. Oh, why must the moon go away and leave me in the dark? Cries Owl. The moon is behind a cloud, but she hears Owl's cry. How sad, says the moon. Owl is afraid of the dark. The moon glides down to perch in Owl's tree. Owl, she says gently, I am your friend. I watch over you each and every night. But sometimes you are not in the sky, says Owl. The little foxes gaze at the lovely moon. I am always there, says the moon, even if you cannot see me. I promise you, Owl, I will always be there. Truly, says Owl. Truly, says the moon. Soon, the dark night comes again, but Owl remembers what the moon said. The moon is there even when I can't see her, says Owl. The little foxes hear and frisk for joy. Owl sends Barney a note. Dear Barney, let's go flying through the dark forest. Tonight at midnight, yours, Owl. Owl and Barney fly through the night. Owl knows the moon is smiling in the dark. I hope you've enjoyed the story. For more exciting stories, please remember to like and subscribe at the Storyteller channel. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to the Storyteller channel. In today's video, I will be reading you a book called The Karate Kid. It's based on the film written by Robert Mark Kamen and directed by John G. Avildsen. It's illustrated by Kim Smith. On Daniel's first day of school, some mean kids started picking on him. The leader of the group was named Johnny. The mean kid studied karate at dojo named Cobra Kai. A dojo is a place where students learn martial arts. All of the students at Cobra Kai were training for a big karate tournament. The next day, the Cobra Kai students chased Daniel home from school. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a man appeared and he chased the boys away with his karate move. It was Mr. Miyagi, the Japanese maintenance man who worked in Daniel's apartment building. He was better at karate than the Cobra Kai students. "Please teach me karate," Daniel said to Mr. Miyagi. "I want to enter the tournament. If I can beat Johnny, I bet he'll stop picking on me." "I promise to teach karate," said Mr. Miyagi, "if you promise to learn." That day, Mr. Miyagi became Daniel's sensei. Sensei is the Japanese word for teacher. The next day, Daniel went to Mr. Miyagi's house. Daniel was excited to start learning karate. First, Mr. Miyagi gave Daniel a special headband. Next, Mr. Miyagi handed Daniel a bucket and a sponge. He told him to wash all the cars in the driveway and then wax them too. Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand. Wax on, wax off. Daniel worked very hard all day. He worked until the sun went down. Finally, all the cars were clean and shiny. But he worked so hard and so long that there was no time left for karate training. The next morning, Mr. Miyagi handed Daniel 2 sanders. Right circle, left circle. Breathe in, breathe out. Daniel worked very hard all day. He worked until the sun went dawn. Finally, the deck was smooth, but he worked so hard and so long that there was no time left for karate training. Daniel woke up excited. Maybe today Mr. Miyagi would finally teach him karate. Instead, Mr. Miyagi gave Daniel a can of paint and a paintbrush. Long strokes, up, then down. Don't forget to bend your knees. Daniel worked very hard all day. He worked until the sun went dawn. Finally, the house was painted, but Daniel was frustrated. He wanted to learn karate, not do chores all day. When Mr. Miyagi came home, Daniel said, "I'm tired of doing chores. Why won't you teach me karate? I haven't learned anything." "You've learned plenty. Show me how to wax the cars." Daniel showed him how, and he blocked Mr. Miyagi's punch. "Show me how you sanded the deck." Daniel showed him how, and he blocked Mr. Miyagi's deck. Kick. "Show me how you painted the house." Daniel showed him how, and he blocked Mr. Miyagi's strike. Daniel couldn't believe it. The whole time he thought he was doing chores, he had actually been learning karate moves and getting closer every day. The tournament was coming up and Daniel was practicing very hard. Mr. Miyagi taught him to balance by staying upright in the ocean waves. Balance is key. Balance good, karate good, everything is good. Mr. Miyagi taught him a special move called the crane kick, which Daniel practiced while balancing on the edge of a boat. He also taught Daniel that karate wasn't about fighting. It was about balance and discipline, both in the body and in the mind. Daniel noticed that Mr. Miyagi was always trying to catch flies with his chopsticks. One day, Daniel asked him why. If you can catch a fly with chopsticks, you can accomplish anything in the world. Daniel decided to try, and he immediately caught the fly. Beginner's luck! Finally, it was the day of the tournament. Daniel wore a special uniform that was a gift from Mr. Miyagi. Daniel was very nervous. Yahoo! Most of the kids were bigger than he was, and they all had black belts. But Daniel won one match after the other. He just imagined he was back at Mr. Miyagi's house doing his chores. The final match was against Johnny, the leader of the Cobra Kai students. Daniel scored 2 points. Then Johnny scored 2 points. One more point would determine the winner. Daniel stood on one leg and closed his eyes, pretending he was in the boat of the water. Daniel found his balance. He breathed in and breathed out. Daniel won the last point. He won the tournament. Johnny handed Daniel the trophy. You earned it, Johnny said. I couldn't have done it without my sensei, Daniel said. The end. I hope you've enjoyed the story. For more exciting stories, please remember to like and subscribe at the Storyteller channel. Bye for now.
Hello and welcome back to the Storyteller channel. Today's story time would be from a book about The Bear Went Over the Mountain by Louis Shea. The Bear Went Over the Mountain. The bear went over the mountain to see what he could see. And what do you think he saw? What do you think he saw? A forest of squirrels screaming, getting ears a ringing. Golly gosh, oh my, oh me, it was a sight to see. The fox ran through the forest to see what he could see. And what do you think she saw? What do you think she saw? Creative crabs on the sand, sculpturing castles small and grand. Golly gosh, oh my, oh me, it was a sight to see. The turtle crawled over the beach to see what she could see. And what do you think she saw? What do you think she saw? A studious school of sharks working to get good marks. Golly gosh, oh my, oh me, it was a sight to see. The seal swam through the ocean to see what he could see. And what do you think he saw? What do you think he saw? Penguins with their plunder, fishing seafood wonder. Golly gosh, oh my, oh me, it was a sight to see. The eagle left the iceberg to see what he could see. And what do you think he saw? What do you think he saw? Toucans in the thundercloud, lightning flashing very loud. Golly gosh, oh my, oh me, it was a sight to see. The moth flew right through the storm to see what he could see. And what do you think he saw? What do you think he saw? Chameleons in the jungle, they camouflage with a bungle. Golly gosh, oh my, oh me, it was a sight to see. The little moo jumped the canopy to see what she could see. And what do you think she saw? What do you think she saw? Bats and rats in fancy dress, dancing, feasting, what a mess! Golly gosh, oh my, oh me, it was a sight to see. The spider crept from the cave to see what he could see. And what do you think he saw? What do you think he saw? Wild animals in a race trying to win first place. Golly gosh, oh my, oh me, it was a sight to see. The warthog fled the savannah to see what he could see. And what do you think he saw? What do you think he saw? Beavers building a dam, creating a traffic jam. Golly gosh, oh my, oh me, it was a sight to see. The salmon swam up the river to see what she could see. And what do you think she saw? What do you think she saw? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the story. For more exciting stories, please remember to like and subscribe at the Storyteller channel. Bye for now.
Hello and welcome to the Storyteller channel. The Ant and the Grasshopper. By Mylan Kelly, illustrated by Barbara Fagnozzi. Aesop's Fables, The Ant and the Grasshopper. It was a warm, sunny summer's day. There was a grasshopper in a field, and he was hopping about, chirping and singing very loudly. Every day he sang, danced, played music, and ate to his heart's content. After a morning of singing and dancing, the grasshopper started to feel tired. He lay back on a leaf, dozing in the sun. On the ground, just beneath the sleeping grasshopper, an ant was hard at work. The ant's huffing and puffing awoke the grasshopper, who looked down from his comfy resting place to see what the noise was. "Why are you working so hard? You should be resting and enjoying yourself like me," the grasshopper said to the ant. "I have to work hard. I need to get all of my food stored and my nest ready for winter," the ant replied. "But winter isn't for months," the grasshopper said. "Come and play with me." "I don't have time for playing," the ant said. "I have too much to do. You should start collecting food and preparing for your home for winter." "I don't want to work or be inside on a beautiful day like this," replied the grasshopper. So the grasshopper kept playing, he sang songs and danced in the field. He slept in the sun and ate lots of food. The ant continued to work, storing food and making his nest warm and cozy for winter. In no time at all, the sun disappeared and the weather turned cold. The field became covered in a layer of frosty white snow. Winter had arrived. The ant was prepared for winter. While the snowflakes fell outside, the fire crackled inside his little nest. He had enough food to see him through the cold months ahead. The grasshopper searched for food, but he could not find any. He was very hungry, and he had no shelter from the falling snow and bitter winds. The grasshopper remembered the ant he had met in the summer. He knocked on his door and asked him if he had any spare food. "Why don't you have any food of your own?" asked the ant. "Did you not store any in the summer? What were you doing?" "I was so busy dancing and singing and eating that I didn't do any work at all," said the grasshopper. The grasshopper looked truly sorry and ashamed. He promised the ant he would work hard next summer and store his own food. So the ant gave him as much food as he could spare. It was just enough to see the grasshopper through the winter, but it was a miserable few months for him. Next summer, the grasshopper was as good as his word. He worked hard to store enough food for himself. The grasshopper even found time to help the ant, to make up for his bad behavior and thank him. So next winter, the grasshopper didn't go hungry. He had learned his lesson and now worked as well as played. There is time for work and a time for play. The end. Hello and welcome to the Storyteller channel. Today's story time would be about the Great Heffalump Hunt, Winnie the Pooh, and it's by Gilles Andrea. Winnie the Pooh, The Great Heffalump Hunt by Gilles Andrea. Piglet trotted happily beside his best friend Pooh, talking about nothing much, as best friends often do, when suddenly Pooh stopped and said, "I've got a grand idea. I'm going to catch a heffalump. I've heard they live round here." "A heffalump?" squeaked Piglet. "But they're huge, wild, scary beasts. And Rabbit says they like to roast fresh piglets for their feasts." "Well, that's why I must catch one," Pooh declared. Then, with a clap, he said, "Aha! I've got a plan. Let's set a cunning trap." Now, what might hungry heffalumps find tempting as a treat? Aside from piglets, pondered Pooh. "My guess is something sweet. A yumptious jar of honey, then," said Piglet with a grin. "We'll bait a trap with honey and he'll simply fall right in." "What a grand idea," said Pooh. "Let's do it tonight. I'll go and fetch some honey while you dig a pit, all right?" Pooh went and got the honey, but before he reached the pit, a little voice inside him said, "Just taste a tiny bit." He found the pit his friend had dug and passed the honey down. "There's hardly any left," squeaked Piglet, giving Pooh a frown. "There's just the right amount," said Pooh. "I gave it careful thought. Let's meet at 6 tomorrow then and find out what we've caught." So Pooh and Piglet went to bed, but neither was prepared for the fact that Pooh was hungry and that Piglet was, well, scared. "That jar of honey is our trap," groaned Pooh. It was my last. Oh, bother, double bother. And if no one's listening, blast. Just one more little pawful would be neither here nor there. A heffalump who's hungry wouldn't notice, wouldn't care. So he set off through the forest with the moonlight overhead. And at that moment, Piglet sat up, wide awake in bed. That horrid, hairy heffalump, he might not like Pooh's honey. Oh, what if all he wants is juicy piglets in his tummy? But Pooh will be there with me, Piglet thought. My best friend, Pooh. It's scary when you're one, but it's much friendlier when with two. So just before his clock struck 6, he tiptoed out the door. The leaves and branches crackled on the frosty forest floor. Then suddenly he heard a noise that chilled him to the bone. A ghostly wail, a growl, a roar, a mournful, muffled moan. "Where are you, Pooh?" called Piglet. His heart beat fast with dread. "I'm in the pit," he heard Pooh cry, "and something's got my head." "The heffalump!" squeaked Piglet. "It's in the pit with Pooh, and I'm much too small to help him. Oh, there's nothing I can do." But something in his little soul prevented him from running, and Piglet's voice rose clear and strong. "Hold on, Pooh, Bear, I'm coming." As fast as he could scamper, Piglet hurried to the pit, then bravely scrambled to the edge and peered down into it. A heffalump! It's got him, and it's shaking him about, and all that Piglet saw was Pooh's poor bottom sticking out. He summoned all his strength and smacked the monster on the head. "Take that, you naughty heffalump! Now, let Pooh go," he said. Then Piglet gave one final heave, and with a squelching sound, out popped Pooh completely and collapsed onto the ground. "The heffalump, it's vanished," Piglet said. "It won't get far." But there, in Piglet's arms, Pooh saw an empty honey jar. "The heffalump," said Pooh. Yes, I'm pretty sure he's gone. I thought I saw him too. But, Piglet, maybe we were wrong. You see, I got quite hungry when I went to have my nap, but the only snack I knew of was the one inside this trap. I took a lick. My head got stuck. I thought, this is the end. But there you were, dear Piglet, my brave rescuer, my friend. "I did it," Piglet slowly spoke, "because I love you, Pooh, and I know if it were me that you would do the same thing too." "I would," said Pooh, "and thank you." Then he sniffed and wiped his eyes. "I'd rescue you from heffalumps, but maybe let's not try." "We're lucky, Pooh," said Piglet, as they set off home together, "that you and I are such good friends." "Best friends," said Pooh, "forever." Thank you so much for watching.
Hello and welcome back to the Storyteller channel. Today's story would be about Rapunzel, Rapunzel, wash your hair. It's a story about hair hygiene. Do you like to wash your hair? Rapunzel, Rapunzel, wash your hair. Written by Steve Smallman, illustrated by Neil Price. Once upon a time, there was a young girl called Rapunzel who had really long hair. She'd been kidnapped by a wicked witch who kept her in a room at the top of a very tall tower. The tower had no staircase and no front door. The wicked witch used Rapunzel's hair as a rope to climb up and down the tower. When she needed to climb up, she cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair." The hair fell down and the witch climbed up. Ouch! Poor Rapunzel never went out at all. She was sad, lonely, and very hairy. Having so much hair was hard work. Rapunzel was always tripping over her hair. It was such an effort to wash and brush that, after a while, she just didn't bother. She sat by the window daydreaming about being rescued by a handsome prince. Her hair got dirtier and dirtier. One day, a handsome prince called Boris heard Rapunzel singing. He followed the sound to the tower. He tried to climb the tower, but it was too smooth and he couldn't get a grip. Then he heard the wicked witch coming and hid behind a bush. She called out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair." The hair came down and the witch climbed up. Ouch! Boris waited for the witch to climb back down. Then, when he was sure she was gone, he sneaked up to the tower and in his best wicked witch voice cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair." The hair came down, but it was filthy. "Yuck!" he cried. "I'm not climbing up that." He stomped off in a huff. A few days later, another prince came along. Albert had heard about the girl in the tower with the lovely voice and the disgusting hair. So he came to rescue her. With gloves on, he called out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair." The hair came down and he started to climb up. But halfway up the tower, his head started to itch. He'd caught head lice from Rapunzel's hair. He let go of her hair to scratch his head and fell back down with a thump. He gave up and left. Rapunzel's hair got so grubby and grim that even the witch couldn't stand it anymore. "I'm leaving," screeched the witch, "and I won't be coming back." She climbed down Rapunzel's hair for the last time. It was so greasy that she lost her grip and slipped to the bottom of the tower with a splat. Soon another prince came along. His name was Alistair, and he had a ladder. He called out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair." The hair came down and Alistair gasped in horror. "Oh my goodness," he cried. "Your hair needs rescuing more than you do. When did you last use shampoo?" He fetched a hosepipe, head lice lotion, shampoo, conditioner, and a selection of brushes and combs. Alistair set to work. It took all day, but by the time Alistair had finished, Rapunzel's hair was clean, shiny, golden, and beautiful. Then the prince helped Rapunzel climb out of the tower. "Oh, thank you, my handsome prince," sighed Rapunzel. "You have saved me and my hair. I suppose you'll want to marry me now?" "No thanks," said the prince. "But would you like a haircut?" Rapunzel had her hair cut short. It looked terrific and was so much easier to wash. In fact, she kept it so clean and healthy that the prince gave her a job in his hair salon. Prince Alistair used Rapunzel's leftover hair to make wigs and moustaches for all the bold people of the kingdom, who all lived happily and hairily ever after. Thank you so much for watching. For more exciting stories, please remember to like and subscribe at the Storyteller channel. Bye for now!
Hello and welcome to the Storyteller channel. In today's story time, I will be reading you a book called Peppa's Australian Underwater Adventure. I hope you enjoy the story. Peppa's Australian Underwater Adventure. Peppa was very excited. She had just won a Great Barrier Reef art competition at the aquarium. "Congratulations, Peppa," said Miss Rabbit. "Your prize is to join me on a marine biology trip to Australia." "Hooray!" cheered Peppa. "What's marine biology?" "It's learning about the plants and animals that live in the sea," explained Miss Rabbit. "Oh," said Peppa. "We're going to stay with Mrs. Kangaroo," continued Miss Rabbit. "She will teach us how to scuba dive in the Great Barrier Reef." "What an amazing prize for a competition," said Mummy Pig, a bit surprised. "Well, Peppa's drawing was very imaginative," said Miss Rabbit. "Her picture wasn't exactly like any fish I have seen, but it was a prize-winning picture." "I see," said Mummy Pig. "There's nothing wrong with a bit imagination, is there?" "Of course! You, Daddy Pig and George will be coming to Australia too," Miss Rabbit told Mummy Pig. "How lovely!" replied Mummy Pig. "Thank you, Miss Rabbit." Peppa and her family were very excited to be seeing their friends in Australia again. "We'll be leaving first thing tomorrow," said Miss Rabbit. "Right. Then," said Mummy Pig, "we'd better head to the shops and get everything we need for the trip." Peppa, George, and Mummy and Daddy Pig headed to Mr. Fox's shop and told him what they needed. Mr. Fox got everything out. "Now," he said, "I think you'll also need some paper and coloring pens. You never know when they might come in handy." "I'm not sure we do," began Mummy Pig. "Trust me, Mummy Pig," Mr. Fox interrupted. "You definitely need these." "Oh, okay then," said Mummy Pig. "Thank you for your help, Mr. Fox. We must get going now so we can pack all of this." The next morning, Peppa and her family woke up very early and hopped on the airplane to Australia. "Where's Miss Rabbit?" asked Daddy Pig. "I think she's finding her own way there," replied Mummy Pig. While Peppa, George, Mummy and Daddy Pig flew on an airplane, Miss Rabbit travelled to Australia by hot air balloon. Whoosh! Toko toko toko, helicopter and boat. Ahoy there! Mrs. Kangaroo taught Peppa about diving and marine biology. What does buddy up mean? Asked Peppa. It means we are going to dive in a group, explained Mrs. Kangaroo. She held up a list of creatures they were going to see and count on their underwater adventure. Green sea turtles, orange clownfish, blue starfish, pink sea anemones, and even whales. Wow, gasped Peppa. She was so excited. Mrs. Kangaroo drove everyone to the boat. Then they hopped on board with their diving gear and headed out to the diving site. Splash, 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 splash. When the boat stopped, Mrs. Kangaroo gave Peppa and Kylie a special underwater list each. It's important that we count the marine life carefully, she said. If you spot anything unusual, let me know. Then Peppa, Miss Rabbit, Kylie, and Mrs. Kangaroo jumped backwards off the boat. They dived deep down under the water to the reef. The divers now saw lots of amazing plants and animals on the reef. They spotted 5 orange clownfish, 4 pink sea anemones, 3 brilliant blue starfish, 2 big green turtles, and 1 enormous whale. Wow, said Peppa. It's so colorful down there. Peppa and Miss Rabbit followed the whale further into the reef. Peppa used her diving fins to swim as fast as she could to keep up, and Miss Rabbit paddled along behind her. The whale pointed its fin at a big rock. Peppa peered behind the rock and saw a fish that wasn't on Mrs. Kangaroo's list, poking its head out. That looks just like the fish I colored in, said Peppa. At the end of the dive, everyone climbed back on board the boat. We counted so many creatures, cried Peppa excitedly. It was amazing. I also spotted a beautiful fish that wasn't on your list, Mrs. Kangaroo. What did it look like, Peppa? Asked Kylie. It looked a bit like the clownfish, said Peppa, but not exactly. Said Mrs. Kangaroo. Can you describe it a little bit more, Peppa? Peppa used the coloring pens from Mr. Fox's shop to draw the fish she had seen. It looked just like her picture from the aquarium. Wow, that's a lovely fish, Peppa, said Kylie. Peppa is very good at drawing, said Miss Rabbit. I don't believe it, gasped Mrs. Kangaroo when she saw Peppa's drawing. It looks just like a rare blue clownfish that hasn't been seen for a while now. Where did you spot it, Peppa? Peppa took everyone back to where she had seen the unusual fish. Mrs. Kangaroo had been searching for the blue clownfish for a long time. Peppa spotted the whale winking at her in the distance. Thank you for showing us the fish, lovely whale, Peppa said, winking back. After Mrs. Kangaroo had taken lots of photographs of the fish, she signaled for everyone to swim up to the boat and head back to shore. That afternoon, Mrs. Kangaroo and her family cooked a big meal to celebrate Peppa's amazing discovery. What do you think of the Great Barrier Reef, Peppa? Asked Daddy Pig. It's the most brilliant place ever, replied Peppa. The fish are just like I imagined they would be. She held up her picture from the art competition. It looked exactly like the fish she had seen on her dive. Everyone laughed. Peppa loves the beautiful Great Barrier Reef. Everyone loves the beautiful Great Barrier Reef. The end. I hope you've enjoyed the story. For more exciting stories, please remember to like and subscribe at the Storyteller channel. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to the Storyteller channel. In today's story time, I will be reading you a book by Ed Allen and Louise Shea called The Funniest Dad in the World. The Funniest Dad in the World by Ed Allen and Louise Shea. My dad's the funniest in the world because he tells the funniest jokes. Why did the emu cross the road? Ha 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 ha. My dad's the funniest in the world because he tells the funniest jokes while riding a unicycle. My dad's funniest in the world because he tells the funniest jokes riding a unicycle while juggling 3 pizzas. My dad's the funniest in the world because he tells the funniest jokes riding a unicycle, juggling 3 pizzas while burping the alphabet. My dad's the funniest in the world because he tells the funniest jokes riding a unicycle, juggling 3 pizzas, burping the alphabet while wearing a wig, standing on one leg with one hand in the air. My dad's the funniest in the world because he tells the funniest jokes riding a unicycle, juggling 3 pizzas, burping the alphabet, wearing a wig, standing on one leg with one hand in the air while blowing the biggest bubble in the whole world out of his nose. My dad's the funniest in the world because he tells the funniest jokes riding a unicycle, juggling 3 pizzas, burping the alphabet, wearing a wig, standing on one leg with one hand in the air, blowing the biggest bubble in the whole world out of his nose while pulling funny faces and high-fiving a monkey. My dad's the funniest in the world because he tells the funniest jokes riding a unicycle, juggling 3 pizzas, burping the alphabet, wearing a wig, standing on one leg with one hand in the air, blowing the biggest bubble in the whole world out of his nose, pulling funny faces and high-fiving a monkey while underwater playing the trombone. My dad's the funniest in the world because he tells the funniest jokes riding a unicycle, juggling 3 pizzas, burping the alphabet, wearing a wig, standing on one leg with one hand in the air, blowing the biggest bubble in the whole world out of his nose, pulling funny faces and high-fiving a monkey underwater playing the trombone while being tickled by a crocodile. My dad's the funniest in the world because he tells the funniest jokes riding a unicycle, juggling 3 pizzas, burping the alphabet, wearing a wig, standing on one leg with one hand in the air, blowing the biggest bubble in the whole world out of his nose, pulling funny faces and high-fiving a monkey underwater, playing the trombone while being tickled by a crocodile on top of a whale. Well, my dad's the funniest in the world because he can do all of that while balancing a jelly tower on his head. In outer space. Thank you so much for listening. For more exciting stories, please remember to like and subscribe at the Storyteller channel. Bye for now.